Hello and welcome back. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Michael?
Doing good, doing good. I'm Michael Abney,
And this is Marilyn Egan.
and we created last year a podcast called MPowered Podcast. That was quite a journey. Created
Yes.
12 episodes of different aspects of areas of life that we wanted to talk about with different people. It was great, and that completed, and it's still getting downloads every single day. And it's
Yes.
incredible. I think it was like 22 countries
Oh, wow.
so
That's
far.
amazing.
Yeah, it's weird that somebody from a little island can be listening to us from something that we just put out in our own little group.
Isn't that amazing? I love that. That's what I
Hmm.
love about the internet and the way the world works right now.
I know. When we first started, we were doing the best we could. We didn't know what we were doing. We just kind of like went in and discovered what we needed to do to make it happen, and we were successful because we got it out.
Yes.
And at the beginning of this year, we sat down and said, "Hey, what are we going to do? The next thing? What's the next thing?" And we wanted to take some time to really think about it, really open ourselves up, and see where we could make the biggest impact. And
Yes.
we both agreed that it was us. It was like learning to take care of ourselves
Right.
on a deeper, energetic, conscious, aware level.
Yes. Self-care has always been important to me. Well, I can't say always. When I finally learned self-care, it's been very important to me. And I had a teacher who used to say, "Oh, honey, you need to take exquisite care of you." And I thought, well, I take good care of me. And then I would take a breath and go, "Oh, it's not quite exquisite, though. That's a little bit different than good care." And I loved that word because it just took it to a deeper level and made me think more about really connecting on the inside to who I really am. And that's really what Exquisite cares about. And if we do that, it can help others do that. And then we're better for each other.
And then where did interiority come from?
Well, that was funny too. That came from her too. She was trying to just find a word, and she was more of in a channeled state, and that popped out. She didn't even realize she'd said it, and I grabbed onto that and I said, "I like that. Exquisite interiority is what it's all about. That's where our body, mind, and soul all lives. And that's what we got to connect to be real."
Authentic, yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I just thought it was a fun phrase.
When we had that discussion, that was the start of where we landed today to
Yes.
presenting our next series. It's a 9-part series. It's called Exquisite Interiority, Taking Care of You from the Inside Out. And for me, I want to be clear about our definitions of our words that we use. I think that's extremely powerful because we all
Yes.
perceive differently. And every definition that we use throughout the series today, I pulled from dictionary.com. So exquisite, of special beauty or charm, or rare and appealing excellence.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah,
But that's true.
it
That's
is
what we
true.
want. We want everyone to know that they are exquisite and
Yeah.
that we will all be better with exquisite care. Yeah, beautiful.
And interiority, the act of being within, inside of anything, internal, inner, further toward the center. And that's the shift. When somebody might be listening to this and here taking care of yourself, and the first step is, or the first thought may be going to a spa or getting a pedicure or getting your hair done or something like
Right.
that. That's great, but that's the outer.
Yes.
This is about the inside, our
Right.
emotional aspects, our energetic aspects of our body. And when we were creating this, I'm just going to go ahead and read this off. This is our intention for this series. This is a special series that Marilyn and I have created. It is specifically designed to renew, recalibrate, and recreate your life from the inside out. Everything is energy, including us. When we are clear, when we are present, and when we are ready, it is completely possible for any of us to release our stories of how it's been. We believe the time has come for us to create a new story of how it's going to be going forward.
Yes.
We've been through this, well, all of us have been through this ringer. Like, you know, I've been studying energy since the early 90s, and I know you have been.
Yes, I have too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned so many things along the way, and we'll be sharing those insights in stories as we move through how we're creating this series, which we'll go into in just a little bit. But like, this is like the last 6 months.
Oh, it's changed everything.
Everything for me.
Yeah.
Even since we did the podcast before.
Yes. Oh, it's totally changed. I think that's when we ended, was late October, November.
When we done the last one, that's when we ended
Right.
recording them, because we recorded them
Right.
in segments. And this series we're doing all in one day.
Right.
Because it's designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to release them all at one time. So it's a little bit different, and we'll explain that in just a second about how this is bigger than just a podcast and how we want to help and how we're plugging it all together. There's this quote that I love Dolly Parton's, who doesn't, right? And she had that little movie that she was connected to called Dumpling that was on Netflix. It was so cute.
Yeah.
But in there was that quote, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." Dolly Parton.
Yes, and that's so important, because I think a lot of people just leave things up to the universe without an intention. And granted, I believe that the universe has a lot in store for us, but a lot of people don't have an intention to make it the best that it can be.
Yeah.
And just letting energy take us, it may take us places we don't want to go.
Yeah.
And that don't serve us, or serve the highest good of all.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're after, is serving the highest good of all.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, we have to have us.
Yeah.
Each of us in balance.
I love it. This Exquisite Interiority series is going to take us through the process of clearing out all that no longer serves us. We're going to begin at the root chakra, and we're going to work all the way up to the crown. And when our bodies are clear and functioning as they were intended to from an energetic point of view, then it's time to plug you into the universe that's been supporting you all the way through. May not have looked like it, but it was, because it got you here. Now you can be a willing participant in the magical experience called Earth School. This is the final pieces that are connecting you to Mother Earth, or after we do that series of our body, using the chakra system as a guide to walk us through all of the areas of life that could have a block there. Talking about how our stories related to stories where we learned lessons from each one of those chakra centers. And I know that part of the body, like, I'm so excited. You know so much about that, and I can't wait to hear all of your wisdom that's going to come forth in the next couple of hours here as we record these. But it just opens the door to a really cool conversation and how ancient wisdom translates into today, and how that's still like applicable. Once we get that all cleared out within inside of our bodies, we're clear. And but there's this little thing called the universe, i.e. the internet, if you want to relate it to something physical.
Yes.
But it's like plugging into that, and two ways to plug into that is grounding to and connecting to Mother Earth, Gaia, which is our episode number 8, and then finally connecting to the light of everything is our sun in our universe, and what that represents on an energetic level.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you're tuned in, tapped on, turned on, actually tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, something that only when you're ready, I'm going to start that again. Human beings, right?
Yes. Exactly.
When you're tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, you're ready for the ride of your life, literally. You came into this world with a purpose, something that only you can fulfill. Now is that time. When you're clear and present and connected to all that is, the unfoldment of your purpose becomes effortless, and joy becomes your dominant state. The question is, are you ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
I am too. I am too. I really am.
Yes.
That saying that we are the ones that we've been waiting for
I love
is
that.
so now.
Yes, it
We
is
really
now.
are.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones that can take it to the next level. We've always been that, and I think now an enormous amount of people are waking up to that. They may not know the full picture yet,
Yeah.
but they know something's happening, and that's why we created this. And we wanted to have this be more than just a podcast. So I want you to share a little bit, like, from your perspective about what's your why in participating in this and creating this with me.
Okay. Well, number one, you talked about how we both started in energy work back in the 90s. And at that point, we didn't really get it that this all comes from within us, and that really everything we need is right here, or the fact that we are the one we've been waiting for. We didn't know that yet.
Mm-mm.
And now that that's here, I want to share that with everybody. I see so many people who are still reaching for happiness or reaching for that peace on the outside and trying to pull it in. And simply, it's not there.
And it's
It's
never
not
going to
there.
work.
It's never going to be. It's about the divine inside of us, our body, mind, and soul, working together, being together on this earth, which we are still human. We're always going to be human. There's going to be those earthly things and those human things that come up, but we just want to be the best that we can be. And I just want people to see that it comes from within.
Yeah.
And we don't, there's no reason to keep grasping out there.
Anymore.
Right.
Period.
Right. And digging for more. It's just inside of us.
And that to me, that's the most valuable thing that I could be using my voice for right now, is
Yes.
sharing all of the ahas, the things that literally, I used to get things or have a breakthrough, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It was more of like an insight. But here lately, it's insight, boom, impact my body, gone.
Yes.
Like, gone. So I can't wait to share some of those, because I believe that's happening to all of us now.
I do
And if
too.
you just let it go, it just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk a little bit about how this series was designed. So this is all great. This is great information. We put this out just like this, and it would be amazing. However, I thought it needed to be just a little bit more, because I wanted to create it in 3 parts. Like, we're creating the podcast. They're going to be shorter. They're only going to be about 15 minutes long. Connect to our Facebook page at MPowered Podcast with Michael and Marilyn. And also, the biggest thing, we're going to be adding a group to for people to participate. So although these are coming out all at one time, every week after we release for the next 9 weeks, we're going to be working with people as they go through to help them dig a little deeper if they need it. Whatever the questions that come up, we're going to let our community bring that up and start healing people and letting go of things, because I believe that we see each other in our own stories. And when we start to share that, it unlocks something in somebody else. And when it unlocks something there, then that impacts their entire network of people that are close to them. And it spreads like wildfire. And that's where I think that this comes into play as providing the maximum amount of value that you and I could provide, and then supporting people. And it'll go beyond 9 weeks, because we love these, I love the people that are in our group, in our community in St. Louis. That's where we're based out of. It's just an extraordinary amount of talented, healing, loving, open-hearted individuals that you would never, ever dream that was here.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. St. Louis has an amazing energy community that we have just watched bloom in the last few years. It's just really growing in a wonderful way, and that word community is really important, because we got to connect, And right now is a time where we need each other. We need support. The outer world, why we can't reach out there for it, is because it doesn't always feel so good. And so we connect with each other to support each other so that we can keep that feel-good space within us and keep growing. That's what it's all about. Growth is unlimited, so we just want to keep growing.
So when we did our first one, we were doing the best job that we could. We were putting it out, but we were so focused on the technical part of making sure that everything was running right and in the right spots and everybody could download and all of that stuff, which is great. Now that's all going to be done up front, and so our entire focus after we release this is just to deep dive, support, connect, all of that. And then whatever arises in there, I know that we'll be able to handle it, move forward, and in the end, we'll have a more empowered community here to spread all over the globe.
Yes, and we want the community that's already here to jump in and help also, and work together.
Yeah, so that's really what I have for today. Is there anything else that you would like to add for our little intro to Exquisite Interiority?
I think we have covered most of that so far.
Really good.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you listening in. We hope you enjoy this series. Look forward to it, and you should be able to just click right over to episode number 1 about the root chakra. Look forward to seeing you on the next, won't see you, but we'll hear you on the next podcast.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.